The Celestial One must deliver the forge to the sacred shrine. There you can unlock its true power.
Little game, you got even more song requests. 1.5 more, is that?
That true power is what?
Returning
First time
anyone
Rhythm, how you doing there, buddy?
from any time period back to the realm of the living.
Nebula, look, I don't know you, like, super well, even though I've seen, well, more than I'd like to of your life. But
Oh yeah,
man,
we went into their brains,
you
memories, things.
obviously cared about Gamora, and I think you still do.
The voice acting is
so,
pretty on point for this game as well, actually.
Sister.
I mean, the writing of the characters has been done really well as well. It is such. I say this every time. I'm so sad Telltale's not a thing anymore, man. They were great. They made some great games. It's such a shame we're not going to get like Wolf Among Us 2, fucking Game of Thrones Season 2, none of that. Oh yeah, bitch got sliced. She's part robot anyway. We can fix her.
Nebula!
If you build it, they will come. Yeah. Did they ever release a last? They are going to. There's basically, I think the last one is due out in maybe this month, either this month or next month. I think the last episode's potentially due.
Oh, thanks, bud.
Yeah.
Your references are out of control. Everyone knows that.
Everyone. I do need to get around to adding those sound effects. Oh yeah. She fucked up his soul and that now. Now his soul's even worse. Chin up. Oh yeah, it's because we set to break it, I think. They just scream, get him! Maybe he's a How High fan. Maybe. That'd make a nice ornament. That's what I was thinking. She's
You took everything from
Oh shit, she's got that green spikes stuff
I
going through
will
her.
destroy you
She probably will
and all
try.
that you
But
love.
as long as I press left, right, and A, B, and X, Y correctly, I'm pretty sure we can get around her. She says she'll kill everyone I love. I mean, he only loves those people around him. You can always get new people. You go to a spaceport, there's plenty of people looking for jobs, I'm sure. Go hire the people from Firefly, because they ain't getting another ship. You're like part rock lady now, right? You found out it's quite heavy being a rock person. Hey, Hats! How you doing, buddy? You didn't see that ending when you played this, really? Ooh.
He's lost
Maybe
me.
it's taken a different point, like a different tone already. I set to destroy the thing, so maybe that's why?
Is destroyed because of him.
Me.
You have doomed my people to extinction.
The Forge was too powerful for anyone to handle.
Babe Nejao.
We had a responsibility to destroy it.
You destroyed
grab my
a
babe.
part
I got
of
perfectly
me
good.
with it.
Analog babe.
Now,
Go ahead.
I will do the same to you. We
Don't remember what I did, but her son stayed alive. Okay. Maybe you did want to keep it then. Or is he absorbing her, like, curse? It sounds like it's reversing time, but it didn't look like it. Let her
She's absorbed the
people
forge.
go.
Its power.
How is that possible?
Yeah, we got some lovely little merch around here. I need to remove the point and call one off of BTTV now. That is an official one on Twitch, and I maybe find a newer mode to find out there in the universe. Maybe something more waffle related. You never know. sRGB, sick reference, grandbrother. Oh shit! Time right. I nearly failed. All I said was we had to do those. I nearly failed straight away. Oh shit, she's gonna go for the power glove. We should pew-pew her until they don't have the power glove. Ooh, shit, Mish. She looks angry, that's it. A cool one, baby. Oh shit. Spam it while I can, still for free, that's it.
Okay, revenge, I
Get
get
as much
it.
use out of it as you can.
Hey,
The
guys.
others are saying on BTTV, so
Little
they're
help
safe
here?
at least.
What's the matter, Quill? Is the big meat lady picking on you?
He knows she is. Get him. Oh shit. Got him.
And stay down.
That's right. Oh, you're rocket. Shit. Poor Drax, he was just about to kill too. And she's stolen. Oh, that's Gamora, isn't it? I thought it was the rock lady with Nebula. This game's a bit loud, isn't it? Okay, so at least everyone's falling down the hole. You might as well join them now, I guess.
Not again.
Oh, she got my leg. So this will go very differently, I'm guessing, for you than Pat's.
Right, not working.
Cool, we're all falling down. I got you, girl. I got you. Okay, oh shit. So this was different. Okay, interesting. So can I pause it here? Yeah, I'm going to quickly turn it down a bit because it is a tad loud. Damn that! I have already turned it down previously as well. Fucking hell. Okay, let's carry on. We're gonna have a cup or two about a couple of biscuits. Come on.
It's a lost cause. We're too far from town. Give it a rest.
Give it a rest? And sit here in silence? Ugh, no way.
Okay. Okay, I didn't know if I was meant to be doing anything more.
Mom?
She's such a jokester. She's always playing these pranks. He's too young to drive. I don't want to encourage this. She's an adult. She's made her decision. He's a child. I should just let this happen. Now you have to go get tea. Unfortunately, that is the curse of tea, my friend. Oh, and they're dead.
Mom!
Neither of them were wearing seatbelts. There should have been a lot more damage from that.
Oh, Peter. Oh my God.
I'm okay. We're okay.
What happened?
You passed out, you goddamn drunk.
How did we...
We were just driving along and then you passed out.
I'm so sorry, Peter. If you weren't here, it would have been much,
I suppose
much
he's a
worse.
good pilot. Maybe that's why he always had to care for his mumsy
my
when she
fault.
passed out, and he had to drive quick.
I shouldn't have been acting like nothing's...
What are you
It's getting worse, baby.
Oh.
I was supposed to check into the hospital this morning.
Come out of fuck,
But I
didn't you?
just wanted to give you one last happy moment to remember me by. Before they plug me into some damn machine. I should have told you.
We have lots of memories together. And no matter what happens, I'm always gonna remember how rad you are.
Aww.
You're a hell of a kid.
Aww.
You
It's
all
right,
have
she'll
to
be
go
fine.
sooner or later. But it ain't over quite yet. So what do you say, One last adventure together?
Why not?
We can still get to the campground before dark.
Fuck it, why not?
Okay, Mom. Let's keep going.
Yeah. I mean, she's gonna die anyway, we know that. We might as well have a nice time at the camp.
We'll make sure this memory's a keeper.
Yeah, but not all memories are good memories. You gotta remember that. Yeah, he's definitely not gonna forget the time his mum nearly killed him by passing out behind the wheel. The memory has been made. What else happens now is all just bonus. And we're back in the room.
So
If just
we're all
laying
in
on him,
agreement
did she
then.
like
We
see
sell
his
the
dream?
ship and split the dough.
You promised money, not the tasty combination of water and flour.
Quill's just knocked out, you morons.
Oh, Drax.
He isn't dead.
But I already called dibs on his stuff. He's got tons of earth junk in his room. I'm sure that'd fetch you a few units at the trader's market.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate the concern. Really.
Oh!
I mean, they don't want it to be awkward for them if he did die. I suppose it's a
We
fair
were
enough thing to
totally
talk
looking out
about.
for you, man.
Yeah.
Your stuff, your legacy, that's real important. It should be sold for as much money as possible.
Well, we're not getting back up there.
You
Great
could
time to
climb.
have my jet boots busted. We'll have to find another way out.
Can Groot just climb and then we can try and fly the rest of the way? Let's talk to people.
Hey, Drax. You see any way out of here?
I have looked up, I have looked down. I have even turned in a complete circle.
We're fucked
There is
then.
no exit.
Truly fucked.
All right. We'll keep looking.
He said there's no
I will
exit.
not rest until I find that treacherous exit.
You get him, Drax.
What's up, Mantis?
Oh, hello.
Is everything okay?
I just wanted to thank you for catching me.
That's right.
Anytime.
And I'm sorry for intruding on your memory of your mother.
Yeah, that I'll never
She
forgive.
seemed like a nice woman.
She was a
Yeah.
bastard. She nearly killed him.
She was. Hey, Rocket.
Ah, look. It's our troubled leader, Peter Quill. Just when I think things couldn't get worse, just when I think we've hit rock bottom, you managed to find us something lower. This time literally.
Yeah. Well, I am to please.
Not a compliment, but okay.
Groot's the only one we can really rely on nowadays.
Hey, Groot. You holding up okay?
I am Groot.
He says he's thirsty.
Okay.
Plants need water. Hey up, girls.
Hey, Gamora.
Nebula's really hurt. Maybe beyond repair. I couldn't stop it. This is what happens when someone gets too close to me.
What, they
I've
slash
never
your sister in
seen
half?
this bad before. She's tough, but
I know what happened is terrible, but you should be proud of her. We got through to her.
that doesn't fix this.
She's a part android anyway.
We
She'll
let
need to be
Nebula
replaced.
into the Guardians, and look where it got her. We have to live with that.
She hasn't done it herself. Oh, she's such a negative Nancy, man. Jeez. I'm gonna touch this hole. Oh, this glowing hole. Oh, oh, hello. The fuck is that? Yep, I'm with Rocket. I'm Rocket.
You're afraid of that little guy.
It's not little.
Yes, what a ridiculous-looking creature. On my world, tunnel worms are filthy.
Looks friendly enough, I guess.
Bite his hand off, bite his hand off, bite his hand off.
Is.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's okay.
That's why you always want to have a mage on your team.
It's just curious.
Curious about how we taste, probably.
Is it chewing through that stone?
Better that than us.
Hungry?
Feed it some more stone.
Want something to eat? Here you go. You
Oh, little
ugly
cutie.
little rock-eating guy.
He could take us a little way out, right?
Bioluminescence. Probably how this thing communicates. Or draws in its unwitting quill-sized prey.
It wants to stay with us.
Aww.
Maybe we should give it a name. Like a pet.
Fonduli. I want to call it
excellent at
Fonduli.
naming things. I shall call it
Fonduli?
Blue.
I'd call it
Fonduli.
hungry.
Oh no! Its name should be obviously
None of these sound like Fonduli.
Because that's what it is.
That's not any good.
Well, I think the name is
Call it
extremely
Bowie.
appropriate.
How about Bowie?
What is
Said Bowie.
a Bowie?
It's a
He's a
Bowie.
musician we treat like a space god on Earth.
I do not see how that is better than blue. The creature is blue.
Ah, get wrecked, Rax.
Bowie is fine.
Great. Guardians have a mascot.
This little guy is cute as fuck, man. I fucking love Bowie.
Co-pilot. I ain't no mascot.
Wow. Would you look at that? Bowie rocks. I told you guys.
Yeah, he does.
He's getting us out of
Did.
here.
No one tell Peter. No one tell Peter. He'll be devastated if he knows Bowie's gone.
Wait.
Bowie.
No one has a problem with this. The death trap thing was not just some cute expression.
It's our only way out, Rocky.
Beautiful, Rax, yeah. I think it's the only way.
And I
It's
told
the
you
only
so
way.
in my pocket for later use.
Plus, if we didn't turn red
Peter.
afterwards, it would have felt like tits.
What about Nebula?
Hey, buddy.
Hey,
Can you carry her?
you could probably grow an extra arm to carry her, to be fair. Cheers. There you go, see what I say? I mean, it's even better than an arm. It's an extra little, like, baby carry pack.
I am Groot.
Yeah, it is cute, Groot. You're right, it is cute.
Hey, Bowie, wait up!
Sliver, sliver, sliver. And we're here. Pretty.
Whoa.
Nice little cave.
This is amazing.
She just wants to
Oh, if
dance.
only the inside of my containment unit were this beautiful, maybe I wouldn't be so psychically scarred.
Oh.
Look at that.
I refuse.
I'd take a moment to soak in all of this beauty if we weren't about to die. That's just the way things go around here.
Don't know we're about to die. Just because we're in a cave. They're cool. We should
It's
probably
like a
eat them.
blacklight painting down here. What is that?
Let's pick it up.
I am Groot!
Whoa, what are you doing, Pete? That crystal there is natural thorium. Just looking at one the wrong way can cause it to explode.
Oh.
Worth a ton of units.
So they all
Highly
look at it.
volatile. Huh. I'm actually a little surprised no one's mined this planet dry.
Oh, maybe that's what they're up to.
Maybe there's a reason no one tried.
A giant worm. Oh no, he's like, no, Bowie.
Not good.
It's Bowie's dad. Oh yeah, it is. Oh fuck. Hey, they don't seem that big though. Did they just pick? Did they just pick on Bowie?
Happening, dummies. Rocket called.
He did call it. He did call it.
That thing led us into a death trap.
They do not want to kill us, just eat us.
Oh, okay. Look, we're not here to fight. We're friends with Bowie. Do you know Bowie?
Don't look like they're fans of Bowie.
These things have zero taste.
But they're our friends, peoples. You cry, shut up, girl. Why don't we just shout at it like a bear?
Come on! Come on! Yeah!
Oh, that's a cool way of doing stuff. Choke slam. You told them.
They just keep coming. They need another plan.
Shoot it. Shoot it, baby.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah, no offense, but that statement doesn't usually end up okay for us.
It'll be fine.
Look out!
See, it worked. Perfect plan. Bowie's gonna be like, what the fuck, dude? What the fuck? They're my buddies. Why did they want to eat flesh when Bowie was happy to eat rock, though? Is he, like,
Nothing
vegetarian?
like the smell of fried worms to really lift your spirits.
Yes, just like Mother's cooking.
Here we go.
Which way? One of these has got to lead us back to Hala.
Whoa, 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 hold up. You actually want to keep going after Hala?
May as well.
Maybe you were watching a different show, but in the one I saw, the forge blew up in her face, and she wound up with godlike powers.
That did happen.
So, you're okay with being responsible for Hala laying waste to the entire galaxy?
Wasn't my idea to try and destroy it. I said it would be bad news. Basically told you exactly what would happen. Boom! Forge in the face, Mega Hala. Magala.
You are terrible at naming things.
Rocket, you never said that.
Did so.
I am Groot.
Ah, whatever.
We had to destroy it. It didn't go as planned. When does it ever? But now it's on us to fix it.
You don't get to talk, Gamora. It's 'cause of you. We gotta carry out all this dead weight.
She isn't dead.
Yet. The word you're looking for is yet. She's as good as, if you ask me.
I was going to actually ask him.
No one did.
I know I failed her. I don't need you to twist the knife.
Hey, everyone needs someone like me. The guy who says what everyone's thinking, but is too much of a whip to do anything about it.
You're being too harsh, Rocket.
Oh, this is such utter crap. No one else is gonna say it.
We might as well wait to see if she stays alive and
all
shit.
of you. I'm going my own way.
Then I'm going the other. I can't stand another second with it.
For once, we agree on something. Hooray!
We're gonna have to choose who we go with, aren't we?
Hey, all this, it's your fault, Quill. If you hadn't exploded the forge, I'd have one less thing to be pissed at you for.
Bite me, raccoon. I feel like we're meant to go with Gamora. Who did you go with, Hats? I'm guessing you went with Gamora, right? I feel like I'll probably go with Gamora.
Let's go, Groot.
I am Groot.
But he's got Nebula.
What? Oh, fine, you big baby. I didn't need any of you when I started in this business, and I don't need you now. Better off on my own.
You think so? Okay. What do you guys reckon? I feel like we probably should go with Gamora. But maybe we should go after Rocket to make sure he's alright. Because he might find Hannah on his own and get fucked up. But I guess if we go with him, it's not going to do much. So what you're all saying is we should probably go with Gamora, right? Yeah. Alright, let's go with Gamora.
Gamora, wait up.
Go with Gamora. I will protect the rodent.
Cool,
Do
there
not
you go.
worry.
Sweet. Good stuff. I think you get Groot
Sometimes
too
I
if
do
you...
not need
Yeah,
to
that's
tell
it,
you
yeah.
how others are feeling.
That's true, you don't.
Makes my job easy.
That's not going to do anything, is it, Gamora? You're just blunting your sword. Is blunting a word?
Gamora? How are you holding up?
Good question.
Filthy little rat!
Alright.
You're supposed to be the rational one. Yet you just storm off down some dangerous, worm-infested tunnel?
I'm just mad. Because he's right.
Yeah. So we're just gonna put Nebula down? Leave her be? The worms might not want to eat her because she has metal bits, so she might be okay.
I pushed her away. And instead she wanted to kill me. She nearly did.
That was all Thanos. Nebula was brainwashed against you.
It wasn't that simple. I gave my sister plenty of good reasons to want me dead.
I mean,
I tried.
what kind of reason can you really give someone to actually want you dead? Family as well. That's
Nebula,
savage.
the Nova Corps, even Rocket, they hate me. One day, assuming I survive this,
She needs to let go a bit, you know. Lucy. She needs to loosen up a bit.
I don't need to hurt you.
I am Groot.
No one hates you, Gamora. You're putting too much pressure on yourself.
I know the truth. People fear me.
Yeah.
Look, Gamora.
Oof.
Oh God, what is this stuff?
Toxic spores.
Oh. Shit, he didn't even say I am Groot.
Oh. Yeah, not toxic to everyone, apparently. He seems to like it.
He's getting high off his tits. Oh. Oh dear. Oh, Groot. Look what you done now.
I am Groot.
Okay, good, Groot. Very fashionable.
I am Groot.
Seemed to like that.
Gamora?
Nebula, I'm here. We're going to get you back to the ship and repair you, okay?
She's fading. We need to hurry.
No, take your time. If you hurry, you might hurt yourself.
It's too far to jump. We're gonna have to find another way across.
How about make Groot become a bridge? I don't know why we don't just use Groot for everything. Like, just everything. Right. He's fucking loving it, man.
Hey,
I reckon he's tripping balls too, maybe.
you seen anything
If you're tripping
around
balls
we
and he
could-
started growing flowers out of you, that'd be pretty cool.
I am.
Groot is off his fucking tits.
Very helpful. What's up, Groot? Why are you acting all...
We should take as many of these as we can that won't kill us. So we can just see him getting fucked all the time. Groot am I?
You, my friend, are not in a right state of mind.
This is great.
Groot.
I am Groot. I am Groot! We're all gonna die here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get back to it. Peace, dude.
Get some, Groot. Get some. Beautiful. Oh, Nebula's down. I didn't even notice. How you doing? You okay?
Peter.
You want me to pet her?
You saved Gamora.
Pet her?
You saved all of us.
Sister.
Make certain Hala suffers. As we have.
So still her children?
Rest, Nebula.
Make them your, like, killer children?
Hala will regret this.
Hey, check it out. Let's see where you go.
Let's also check around here first. Just in case.
Well, that's unsettling. Reminder to self. Don't fall down there.
Tell Groot, man. He's the one who needs to be careful right now.
Do you want to talk about Nebula?
This was the first I've seen her show compassion.
Yeah, if she wasn't dying, she'd be grown into a lovely person.
We never knew how to be anything but weapons. Flawed ones at that. She and I... we never had a chance.
You're so much more than just a blade. I'm serious.
Thank you, Peter. But I know my value. Just took me a while to realize that's all I was.
I mean, you can be a weapon and like somebody who knits and stuff.
Any ideas on how to get across?
I'm looking. There's gotta be something here we can use. We better hurry, though. Nebula won't last long.
But you probably got at least to the end of this episode.
Hey, can you help me up into that tunnel?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Ready when... Cool. Glad I could help. Hey, Groot. We'll be right back.
Yeah, Groot's good. Groot don't give a shit.
Thanks.
Hopefully Groot doesn't eat Nebula. If he was thirsty, he might try and drink her. She is blue.
Listen. I just need you to realize something. Nebula is just the beginning. Someone else is going to get hurt.
Hello, nice to meet you. My name is Fizzle. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here at all.
I've been ambushed before. But this time, I see the danger coming right for us.
I won't let that happen.
I know you mean that, Peter. I do. But I can't have another death on my conscience. I can't be responsible for my own family, let alone the whole galaxy. Once we get off this planet, I'm going to leave the Guardians.
Okay.
Gamora.
If I'm alone, the only one who could get hurt is me.
That's a good shout. She was getting us into a lot of trouble.
We did great things together, but the team's fractured.
Oh, you'd stay for me, right? If you leave, I'm the one that gets hurt. Not reason enough?
Get her.
What do you mean by that?
He wants to kiss you. He wants to slap that booty.
What are you trying to say to me, Peter?
That there's something between us. You know how much I care about you.
Peter.
I know you feel the same way.
Caring only makes it worse.
That's right, he can just promise never to die. Did it in Team America.
Check this out. One, 2, 3.
You're out of sync. Try it again.
1, 2, 3. Again. 1, 2, 3.
Slamming into it in your shoulder's not great though, right? Because it's just gonna fall with you on top of it. Nah, there you go, lucky.
That you're doing.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Careful now, Groot. You
Groot?
fucking hippie.
How did you even get over there?
I am.
He's just got a bag full of mushrooms hidden in his leg. He can't see. He grew bark over them.
Peter, wait. What you said about staying for you. You're right. But I'm trusting you to protect all of us.
Okay, easy. Keep you alive forever. His roots are kind of like toes.
I am Groot.
Is it Bowie? Or is it Eaters? Why did he even give us that option?
Oh, great.
There ain't no walls. I agree.
Peter? We're in their lair.
Yeah. Does anyone have any fire?
We gotta sneak.
Good thing I'm being quiet there, Petey. Oh, look, a little bed. Ugh.
That was close. We almost... What's that smell? Oh, it's horrible. Did something die down here?
It was just a little scare fart. Okay, no big deal. Get over it.
Check it's not sharp.
No, I'm getting away from it.
Can we just keep moving, please? The end of the tunnel's just up ahead.
Anything to get away from that smell.
Maybe she should go in front for a bit, to be fair. Oh, they just turned off super quiet. I feel like we should have some sort of that music that whenever you see like slow motion sport events happen. Can't remember what it's called. I feel I'd just do it terribly if I did like this. It was definitely a shot, yeah. Look how he's walking. He's proper separating those legs now. I think I just walked on one. We did it, we did it. GG easy. Dare you to lick it, Peter. Oh shit, is that a rocket? Ooh, rocket, you're not looking great. And Mantis. Hey, and Drax too. Aw, the whole crew's here.
doggy.
Hey, and Bakura, how you doing, buddy? Thank you very much for the 100 Fizzbits, man. Don't make any noise.
Don't make any noise, you butthead. Don't do it. The bugs will
Don't
eat
do
your
it.
testicles. Lick it.
Not my testicles. Shit. Thank you very much for the 100 Fizzbits, dude. How you doing, man? As you can see, we're doing some guarding.
I asked for to-go container.
Okay.
Oh, he's having a nice little nap.
We're gonna get you out of here.
It's gonna be grouchy as fuck though when we wake him up.
Almost there.
So tense. So tense. Got him. Got him, master button. No!
Oh, yeah. Crap. Hey, you alright, Rocket?
I feel like I just boozed for a week. And took a header into Drax's fist.
What happened?
That would do it.
Did you end up in...
What, in a giant alien lunch sack?
Yeah.
Never would have happened if you'd come with me.
Yeah, how's your day been today, Bax dude? Hey, and Kyle, how you doing today, man?
Hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark. Lovely to see you too. Well, we're currently doing Guardians. I've got this one and one more episode of left to do, so I might finish this tonight so the game's done. But I might change games. We'll see how I feel after this episode.
To get up before the worms
How are you both doing? Having a good day? Nice, nice. Okay, we're opening up people's alien sacks quietly. I'm not pressing Q though. I'm pressing A. Get wrecked. Just staring him in the eyes. Just getting close to his face. Is he gonna kiss him? No, it's making me want to tap this quicker. Oh, he's still dreaming.
I'm tired. I'm wasted. I love you, darling.
Weirder than normal.
Yeah.
About time we learn how to open up an alien sack. Yeah, man, you got to do it quietly and slowly, otherwise
Awkward hugging for today.
people might know that you're doing it. Aliens don't let their sacks be opened.
No, no, not you, Mantis. No.
Oh, we're gonna see some weird fucked up thing about Drax and his family, right? Yeah, fucked up family time, yay! Oh, he hasn't got any of his warrior. Oh, he's got some of his warrior marks, not all of them yet. He's not a true warrior yet. It's about to have some like Shaolin showdown. Drax. It's Kratos, yeah, it is, right? It's war paint, warrior marks. You wouldn't understand.
Still fresh. Must be close.
There it was. Not glitter. God damn it. You tell Drax that. You tell Drax that. They go.
Surrender now, villain!
Get him. He's as real as you and I.
You, Papa.
Yeah. Well, he's not,
You
I
should have
suppose,
seen
yeah.
your face.
Yes, Kamaria. You surprised me.
I knew I could do it.
See, because calling it war of
Getting
pain,
stealthier.
see, he
You've
understands.
now completed the test of guile and diversion.
She's about
These
to get a warrior
skills
skill.
will serve
I mean,
you well on the warrior's path.
warrior mark.
Where every child
Let's leave their home and make the perilous journey to the training ground.
Well, you can get your
Take
warrior
it
mark.
seriously, Kamaria. I say it out of love, daughter. This path, it is not to be taken lightly.
So what, she has to
If I was scared,
not eat?
that would be alright, wouldn't it?
No, not at all. Don't be a
Not
pussy.
that I am. It's just that
I think
I
Drax
mean-
would have been a good dad.
It is normal to feel scared.
it is.
Yes. So use it.
I feel like that's
Make
very out
yourself
of character
more
for Drax,
focused,
though, to be fair.
less reckless in battle.
He never admits to being scared.
I must admit, I do feel a little scared,
Uh,
but I will be stronger.
It's
for it.
like, you're not allowed to go out now, you little pussy.
We don't have long.
I'm a parent. I tell you how long we have.
Before you leave, I promised you.
The tattoo!
She is going to get warrior marks. See? It's warrior
I know
marks
you
through
are.
tattoos. You can't get glitter tattoos. Glitter tattoos.
First
You can't
tattoo
even make a word
marks you
combined with the
as
two
a
of them. That
warrior
makes
in
sense.
training. You will add many as your journey continues.
This girl will hurt.
Relax, daughter. It will not take long.
But it will hurt. You're literally doing it in such a barbaric way as well. Oh, you want me to do it? Alright. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, tap, tap. We got it. We got it. We
Mount
got it.
Kylos. Your mother and I had our soul union there.
I don't think they would be. I know you can have them like glow in the dark ones, like UV tattoos, but they wear out really quick.
I will become
and I imagine if you had glitter,
on my own.
you might just get severely
I'm
infected.
not like the other scouts. Talking as if they're already warriors.
Standing with others makes you stronger. There is much you can gain by having someone at your side.
But I'll inquire at the tattoo
Like
parlor
you and
nonetheless. I mean, it's good to know for research.
Yes.
She is much tougher than you.
I hope we just drew like a massive dick on a arm or some shit. That'd be jokes.
You are doing very well. I remember my first, and how much it hurt.
Papa, there's so little time. And sometimes I feel like there's still so much to ask you.
What is it you wish to know?
What if...
How she dies.
What if I face an opponent who cannot be beaten?
Run away.
I am strong,
Run the fuck away.
I'm small.
Then you run, and live to fight another day. Great warriors always use their minds, like I do.
Yes. I will be cautious.
I think she still dies. I mean, his whole family gets
what
killed by
if-
Thanos.
What will
Spoiler.
you do if I return more powerful than even you?
I'll fucking kill you.
My legend, spreading across the valleys.
Then we will have to fight each other.
And that will be the day of your greatest defeat. Ow!
Get him.
It is done.
What ink is he using? Red?
It is us.
Just red. There's actually a green tattoo and the red bits are his natural skin colour.
There is
That'd
one
be
last
interesting.
test you
That'd
must
be a really,
pass before
real
you
big
can
tattoo.
leave. Conquering the unknown.
It's too far. I can't see what's down
She
there.
just has to
You
jump.
must jump,
But it's a bouncy castle.
unless you wish to
I
wait.
really hope it's a
another
bouncy
year.
castle.
I'm ready. Like you said, it's normal to feel scared.
Is this Shrek 5? Yes. It is. That's little Shreklina. Yeah. She's adorable, hey?
I can't do it. You have to help me, Papa.
Papa, can you hear me? Shit.
Wait!
Spilt my smoke.
I just need a second.
No. Get wrecked, nerd. And that's how his daughter died. The end. I love a happy ending. See? Dumb girl doesn't know full damage in this game. She's such an idiot. That's why you always look at the moves list. I am good.
I did it!
I'm proud of you, Kamaria.
You didn't do it, I pushed you off. You didn't do
will
shit.
well at the training grounds.
I will do well at the training grounds. As long as the training grounds needs me to push children
There is
off on
no
ledges,
reason to.
I'm always happy to do a Jamie
Look
Cersei.
at your tattoo.
Although maybe say
know
calling
I
it Jamie
am
Cersei would be
always
misleading.
with you.
Because I mean it's just pushing a child over it, but people probably
I
just
will.
think like the whole incest fucking thing.
Papa, I must
I'll think of a
go
new name
now.
for pushing children off a roof. Leave it with me.
You have to let me go sometime. You can't hold on to me forever.
Of course you can.
I get it.
I know it's going to
You're
be
gonna
Peter,
miss me when I'm gone.
but I'm trying to finish my role here. Jesus.
Okay. I will miss you too, and Mama. We can't wait around all day like this. It'll be dark soon.
One more minute. I'm your father, Jesus.
I'll fight my way out of it if I have to.
I'm not calling her Jesus.
Papa!
This is getting dark. I was waiting for it to be Peter Quill. No, I think I made it better. Yeah. Happy ending.
let her go.
See, he thinks I did wrong for letting her go then.
Maybe then she would still be alive.
Oh, did she die after that?
Drax,
Hey, that's real sad and
She's
all,
always
but we
dead.
can use some muscle over here.
Time to rock and roll, baby. Is Bowie here to save us? We haven't seen him in ages.
Oh, never mind, we're good.
Oh, it's a giant Bowie.
this is where we run.
Giant motherfucking Bowie. It's pretty large. It's a big Betty. Big Bertha.
Peter,
That's a hand holding the power gem.
Hey, why are you stopping?
I didn't even.
I'm
Oh, I
sorry,
didn't see the
used my
power gem.
powers
I
on
just
you
saw a
before.
giant snake thing.
I didn't mean
A worm.
to. It wasn't intentional. I was only trying to pull him off you.
What are you talking about? You got us out of there. If it wasn't for you, I'd still be getting squeezed to death by Drax.
Oh, you're right. I was the hero.
That's it. Have an ego crisis another day.
The ship!
Hey, that's fortuitous.
Hurry, Rocket! I'm trying! I ain't got long stick legs like the rest of you!
That's fair. He could use his hands to run. No, raccoons usually do move on 4 feet, so...
Everyone take a seat, we're leaving! Did any of you get a good look at that thing?
Yes, big worm.
What was that even?
Big old worm.
A tree? Stop yanking my tail!
It's giant and terrifying and probably wants us dead. I don't need to know any more about it.
In this case, I'll say your extreme lack of curiosity is a virtue, Quill.
Nebula's plugged into the ship. She's stable.
Okay.
Oh yeah, she's a robot, so she can just get plugged into shit when she's low on power. That's cool.
Wait! I feel something.
What's
Someone
that?
is starving.
Oh, that's gonna be the worm that wants to eat us.
No, bigger.
My hunger has no equal.
Ah, once we're out of here, we'll get you some food. That is one big Bowie.
It's an ugly one, baby. Yeah, yeah.
We're all gonna die. Punch it, Pete!
Let's go.
Not today!
I thought we were gonna fly through its belly and out of its tail.
Everyone, hold on!
Oh. Well, that happened. Cool. So we're doing a bit of a Pinocchio.
Are we dead?
Not quite. We're lunch! Or dinner. What time is it?
Definitely dinner.
A slimy
Definitely would be dinner.
cave. It is.
Big old stomach.
Nebula, how could I? What the hell is she doing?
Mora, wait!
Damn it!
What are you doing, you silly mare? She unplugged herself.
Plug her back in, Peter.
Her Wi-Fi's failing.
No. Stop.
But she wants to
Please.
die?
If your systems shut down, we can power them through the ship.
It won't do anything.
Stop being so stubborn. It can help keep you alive.
Maybe she don't want to be.
Like being tethered. No. I'm past that point.
Oh. Do we respect her wishes or just shove it straight in her head? But Jimmy goes in her head. This is some nice music for contemplation. What do you reckon though? Save her or let her die? I mean, I honoured Rocket's, like, I made Rocket honour his Boo's last wish. I feel like maybe we should honour Nebula's last wish too. Gamora might be upset about that. Let's respect the wishes. Let's see where that goes.
Don't be stupid, please.
It's okay, Gamora. Let's leave her be.
pick it back up. She'll
Let me have this.
She wants to go, she wants to go. You feel like it doesn't matter? Eh.
Thanks.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Sure,
I'm
remember
not
that?
ready to
Not if
give
she
up on
dies.
you. I'm going to get Rocket.
How's that going to help? He hates Nebula.
There's no use. It can't be put back together.
Of course you can, you're a robot.
This time. Honestly, it feels good to have parts of me.
Oh, yeah, he is a tech. You're right, actually. Sorry, yeah, he is a tech wizard. That is a good shout.
Wish I could have done this whenever I wanted. Maybe then I could have slept.
Just hang tight. Try to save your strength.
For what?
Party! Yeah, but we can have a
It's just
party.
no one wants to
We're gonna
admit it
die, we might as well drink the rest of the booze. You right? Doesn't sound great.
It was my idea to put all this in my body. Told everyone it was so I could be better. Like Gamora.
But you're not. What a beautiful moment to come in. Hey, twin Stein, baby. Stein, That was a beautiful moment. That was a beautiful moment. How you doing, Stein, baby? Nebula's dying.
Loves her.
Yeah.
You don't have to. She already knows.
Really?
I mean, I'm just gonna lie to her too, so she feels good. And she dies and shit.
It's too late for Gamora and me. I'm a living reminder of our time with Thanos. She can't move on until that last piece of it is gone.
Oh yeah, we killed Thanos at the beginning. I forgot about that.
Things will be better soon. Forever.
Jesus, hurry up. We've all got places to be, alright?
Look, this might sound corny, but it's never too late to make things right. You can always make a change.
Yeah. Maybe you're right.
Yeah, I'm correct at something.
Peter, for listening to this.
I mean, it's not a suicide note. A last will and testament, I guess, but she's not really giving anybody anything. Here comes the repairman. Got his toolkit.
Hey.
Hey.
Do you want me to...
Fix your robot holes?
Trying to fix me.
Yeah, I get that.
There's something I need to tell you.
She loves you.
What is it?
Love. Bacon.
I know.
Oh, she sizzled out. Yep. Sweet. Let's go sell her for spares. We could probably get quite a lot for her biomech, whatever's still intact. There must be some good working stuff in there. Guess that's why we brought Rocket really along. He gets a job ripping about, finding the bits we can sell to scrappers, and hopefully we can get some good money out of it. GG Nebula. All in all, great episode so far. Everyone's so upset.
I can sense your despair, Peter.
None of them have showered.
Everyone's
They've all
really...
got goo all over them
Is
still.
Nebula still
undead? No.
I don't mean to pile it on, but I got some bad news too.
Yeah, we're being
Our
digested soon.
engines got thrashed when we were swallowed.
Can we still fly this thing?
Not a friggin' chance.
Okay. Let's get back to work.
Yeah, grieving's over. Come on now. I didn't even get on that well. Jeez. If she needs 10 minutes later, we'll give her 10 minutes or so later, you know. But for now, let's not get digested by a giant worm.
Okay. Of course. Whatever you need. In the end, she was one of us. A guardian.
Yeah.
I think she liked it. Being part of something good for once.
Yeah.
Nebula was the fiercest, most sinister opponent I have faced in battle.
What I liked most about Neb was how much she hated Pete.
She did have a
Like
great definition of
deep,
hate.
unrelenting way. Funny girl.
I am Groot.
Oh yeah? Leave her ass
She
out
really
of it.
seemed to care about you, Gamora.
You should value the connection you two shared. To be alone is a worse fate.
Speaking of worse fates, we gotta figure a way out of here before we end up like those poor bastards.
Hey, another ship. Let's use their parts.
Bastards. Exactly!
Huh? What?
Look at all those ships. There has to be some parts we can salvage out there.
You forget about that internal ocean.
See, why don't we
stomach
just use
acid.
Nebula now?
Can't just take a little swim.
Then get me flying again.
I'll see what I can do. I mean, I sure ain't dumb enough to go out there.
So I assume my boots are flyable now. They stepped in something.
Alright. Let's find some engines.
Boop.
That'll do.
You better. We're fucked.
Listen, I've been running the numbers. We gotta drop weight in order to take off.
I need to drop Nebula.
How exactly do we do
From
that?
Nebula. Come on now. I know she does have some money,
everything
but
that ain't bolted down and give it the old Chucky Chuck. The lighter we are, the longer we float. The easier it'll be to get airborne.
Desperate times, right?
When aren't they?
no, poor Milano.
No! Please don't drop me in this.
Oh, swipe. You're welcome.
Well, they didn't burst into flames. So time for round 2.
I mean, wouldn't you let them cool down at least a little
If I
bit?
don't overwork the jets, I should be able to avoid the acid. I hope.
Yeah. Just need to find a safe place to land before the meter runs out.
Hope this creature doesn't want a midnight snack. Last thing we need is for the acid level to rise.
That's true.
Hey, Rocket. I want you to go easy on Gamora.
Let's go.
Yeah, okay.
Let's
I know
go.
when to back off.
Drax, how's the unloading going?
I keep tearing objects off of the bridge, but Rocket says they are essential to life support.
Yeah, why don't you check with him next time?
That's fair.
Gamora.
It's a real mess we're in. Everything I touch, I'm
It's
toxic.
her fault.
You're not toxic, Gamora. That stomach? That's
How do I know when I'm over that? There we go. Okay, cool. It does actually give us a little thing. Nice. Oh! Oh, there was a command that I had to do, but I decided to try and talk into Drax. Acid one. Peter Quill, Neil.
Well, they didn't burst into flames.
Shut up, you whore. Yeah.
If I don't overwork the jets, I should be able to avoid the
I know
acid.
this. I know all of this.
I hope.
Yep.
Gamora.
Gotta do all this again.
It's
Alright.
a real mess we're
Let's
in.
talk to them before I
Everything
fly
I
this
touch,
time.
I'm toxic.
You're not toxic, Gamora.
It looks like he's actually trying to look at his
That
back.
stomach? That's toxic.
Thank you. I think.
Trying to look at his own butt, but he can't.
Drax, how's the unloading going?
I keep tearing objects off of the bridge, but Rocket says they are essential to life support.
Yeah, why don't you check with them next time?
Okay, so this time we're gonna actually do that rather than just try and talk to Drax again. Now we'll talk to them.
Hey, Rocket. I want you to go easy on Gamora. Okay, she's...
Yeah, okay. I know when to back off.
Drax.
Yes, Peter Quill. Have you gathered the necessary components to eject us from this beast?
Not yet.
What about now?
Yes, Drax?
I think we should dispose of
No, Drax, she stays with us.
Nope, it's a good shout. Drax has got a very good point.
Drax.
But it makes sense.
Rocket, what's up with these boots? I thought you fixed them.
I made a valiant effort. There's only so much you can do when parts are scarce.
That's a big
Incidentally,
old
we're
sphincter.
gonna need to replace our plumbing when we get back to nowhere. Either way, stop complaining.
Replace our plumbing.
What's up, Drax?
I trained my Kamaria to be a warrior, like Thanos trained Nebula. Still, I am confident she would not have fallen down the same path.
This whole stomach is lined with thorium crystals. Like the acid wasn't bad enough already.
Right.
Rocket, any luck lightening the ship?
Gamora says if I go anywhere near her room, she'll cut off my head. It's a work in progress.
Moratorium. Ugh.
Moratorium?
That'll give you indigestion. Wow. Charming. How's the rest of the crew doing?
We are arguing about what to jettison. Get back as quickly as you can.
I'm sorry, I need to focus.
Yeah, fuck
I
off.
couldn't agree more.
Rocket, any ideas on how to move these engines? My boots won't be able to.
It's an engine, Pete. Just turn it on.
Oh, good. A giant red button.
It's kind of more
This
orange.
always ends well.
Bronze. Let's crank it, baby. Easy, baby. All day. Feeling confident. And GG again, Iron, on getting last month's clip champ, baby. That's such a beautiful one, too. What's that shit about? I'm scared of that. That actually worked pretty fucking well.
Careful, Quill.
Hey, I'm doing my best.
I mean, you don't actually then re-explode. Oof. Oh, more. They need to digest stuff quicker, so the bodies.
Now I'm inside an upset stomach.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Who else can we talk to?
Rocket, what gives her the mood lately?
I ain't got a ton of
Clip
interest
jump
in
back
diet.
where it belongs.
Can you
Yeah,
blame
boy.
me?
Gamora? How are you holding up back there?
I'll be better
Oh,
once
poor
we
little
get out
guy.
of
He's well upset. He ate some bad peoples.
Gamora, how is emptying out the ship going?
We're at each other's throats.
So, just another day on the Milano?
Yeah.
No engines here.
And how did it get here? Right, so maybe we fly to the other side now? Ouch, slime. We'll let him have a little more, he's a little... Yeah, see, we'll let him have a little spew, then we carry on. Whew. I want to make sure we get across before stomach acid again. Hey, and Eric, how you doing today, dude? Good to see you, dude. Doo-doo-doo-doo. But how's your day going, man?
Gross.
Life is life.
What's up, Gamora?
Groot never cleaned up his disgusting mess in the bathroom.
Seriously, that was
Refuses
fucking
to do
ages
it.
ago.
Maybe Rocket can talk some sense into him?
I'll see what I can do.
Ow, just burnt my hand. Oh wait, I didn't actually mean to do this. We're getting ahead of ourselves now. Can I go back? I can't.
Hey, Rocket, make sure that Groot cleans out the bathroom.
Oh, we can.
Groot didn't puke up half his guts after the bar. Should save us some weight to get that barf out of there finally.
I gotta deal with this, Rocket. Just hold on.
Yeah, bye.
Okay, we'll go back there in a second. This probably doesn't have anything either, but hey. Doing good? I'm doing splendid, cheers, man. Starting to say with a bit of music making some tunes and such. And now, yeah, just having some fun with Guardians. I might finish this today as well. I'm undecided. We're seeing how I feel at the end of this episode, if I want to, like, then just do the last episode after it. Ooh, we can do it.
Empty, of course.
Oh.
Hey, Rocket.
Kinda busy, Pete. What's up?
Would a piece of thorium work as starship fuel?
I suppose so. In a sense, all fuel is just explosion, so yeah, it'll explode. Why you asking?
Oh, no reason. Just, just curious.
So I need to go back down there anyway. Okay. I'm just going. We can just finish Cuphead, oh, buddy. Because I feel like I 100% finished Guardians, but who knows with Cuphead? Maybe we'll do some Cuphead. Let's see. We'll definitely do some this week if I don't do it today.
Don't mind if I do.
He took it off without knowing at all how stable or the best way to do that. He just snapped it and hoped it didn't explode.
This doesn't work out. Oof.
Right.
Way to go.
Ooh, strike. Oof. That must hurt his tummy sphincter.
Peter, what if we just dispose of Nebula's cyborg parts?
No!
I don't know why he's being so harsh. I feel like it's we probably should get rid of her. We need to conserve energy. I mean, she did. Get over it. Jesus.
Peter, I wanted to warn you that I'm throwing away that orange ball you gave me as a token of your affection.
The basketball? It hardly weighs a thing.
Everything has to go, Peter.
You would?
And also,
thanks, Bakura.
Drax stabbed it.
Oh, man. Drax, I know you're dealing with a lot, but so is Gamora.
I have heard the news. It is unfortunate.
I mean, he must have heard the news way before that, right?
Do you want to talk about Nebula?
Nebula knew that we were better off alone. I feel so guilty for what happened to her.
As she should.
Bingo.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Just one more to go.
Let's go, baby. Ride the lightning. Feels like these conversations aren't in correct time. Yeah, very much so. Like, how did Drax not already know that? Like, we just had a massive thing on board. Like, I know he wasn't in that room, but...
I think I'm alive.
Nah. Nah.
Okay. Yeah, just a little banged up. Wow. This is a good helmet.
Fine. Don't want to
That's
get rid
cool
of
when
that?
he said no.
Then this goes. Hey!
That sounds like
Oh.
progress?
Kind of ignored it.
It's only like
Oh.
Our lives depend on it.
Get off my back! There's no friggin' way in hell I'm getting rid of this.
I'm
He should
sacrificing
keep
all
the
my
gun.
extra knives and swords.
How
That's
many
his main
swords
weapon.
do you have?
Meanwhile, Rocket won't give up one of his guns.
Yeah, but check it out. Not now, not ever. I built this thing with my own 2 paws.
Okay. That's way too awesome to trash.
See?
I mean, it's his only
Quill
weapon.
understands the value of a good gun.
He'll probably need it to save us. It's posters we could throw away. Posters weigh nearly as much as guns when you weigh them by the same metric.
All that matters is the trail of blood we leave after slaughtering those who have wronged us.
Oh, that's some image.
After our shared experience, Quill, I discarded everything. Even the things that reminded me of my beloved Kamaria and Hovat.
I'm sure it must have been tough.
It was. Supremely. But after you entered me...
Yeah, I entered your mind, right?
He entered
I
Drax.
knew it was the right thing.
Well, at least you actually listened to me. Unlike some people. You see that, everyone? Drax went and threw everything away. You should follow his example.
Why? Shouldn't our leader set the example? You hear that, Groot? I guess Drax is our leader now.
I am leader?
Your room is still full of keepsakes, Peter.
Since I'm the leader now, I request that you all kneel before me.
No.
Go for it.
Just stop. Let me show you how it's all done. Okay? I'm gonna go back
Shit,
to
I'm
my
a whore
room
today.
and sacrifice the crap out of some personal stuff.
This is gonna be tough. This is gonna be tough.
Oh man. Where to start?
Throwing away their belongings is certainly upsetting the others. What is it about these things? Why do they hold so much emotional weight?
These things aren't just things. They define us. I'm
Yeah,
a
I love
long
that
way from home.
thing.
These are the last reminders I have of who I am.
They're you! Of course. Hello, Peter. I will think about this more. There is much I can learn from you, it seems.
Not sure
One thing
she's
I learned
learning the
about the
right
Guardians
things,
is
though.
nobody ever makes sense. All right. Let's get started.
Huh. Okay.
Yondu gave me this. Not sure how he'd feel knowing I dumped it.
This Yondu has a strange way of showing affection.
He has a lot of strange ways. Trash. Oh, man. This one's pretty emotional for me.
Jesus, that's a massive
First
trophy.
hunt back on Rayjack.
Must be heavy.
I remember it like yesterday.
Then you don't
Finished
need.
first place for
If you
taking
remember,
down a
you don't need the
massive-
trophy.
I sense a lie.
Last place. This was a trophy just for
That was a fucking participation trophy. What was the winning trophy? Jesus Christ.
Screw the pity prize. A photo of me and Mom.
Get rid of it.
You should keep that. It weighs little in your hand, but much in your mind.
Toss.
No, I'm keeping this. Besides, it doesn't weigh a thing.
That's literally what she said.
All right. Let's see what we got over here. It's my weight set. Just in case you were wondering where this incredibly muscular bod
Definitely
comes
needs
from.
that. Definitely needs that.
I
Thomas
wasn't.
voting to lessen the weight. I mean, if he found like lots of photos, it probably would have added up.
Take one last look at
He's
this
not gonna be able to
bod,
throw
'cause
that.
After today, we're taking the fast train to Tubbsville.
Case of booze.
My toy ray gun from Earth. I used to bring this with me everywhere as a kid.
You're not a kid anymore, bitch.
You know, this toy was a
Get
good
rid of it.
primer, but I've upgraded to the real deal. Except
I mean, they're
no
throwing away such
substitutes.
pointless things weight-wise, right? I feel like on the grand scale, all these little things are not going to matter much.
My emergency stash of Centauri spirits.
Can we keep one?
Act like a fool?
And can we get rid of them and just keep one?
No. Relax.
I wanna compromise.
Help me to relax.
I wanna compromise here, please. God damn it. Fine.
Need to keep my wits about me.
Cool. Well, that's a liquid you now have to clean up.
The dream of a Guardians baseball team dies today.
I've never owned anything before, but I wish I had something to throw away to help the team.
Cut your hair off.
Even though
you're in a
said
band.
These things are who you are.
Here, you can start your own collection of odds and ends that you'll be forced to throw away in order to escape a giant alien worm.
Thank you, Peter. This is the best.
Baseball glove.
The best baseball glove I've ever seen.
Mantis is learning some good shit from us. We're being good people.
Gather round and be led by example. Huh.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're
totally
massively
sacrificed
surprised,
things.
Dan.
Fine. The gun goes. You happy?
No, I said
Consider
keep
my
it.
sword's
We need
ditched.
the weapons. But because I gave away a fake trophy? That's your baby.
Man, that is really sad.
Yeah, I'm not giving that away.
Is
That's
it like a cousin or something? No.
Yeah, I'm not treading on that water.
Should keep it.
Agreed.
And what of this one?
Oh, we got Bowie.
Bowie! How did it get in here?
Probably followed us through the caves. This is why you don't befriend strange creatures.
We should keep him.
No way. Get rid of it.
But he's adorable.
So lonely.
Yeah.
That little bastard ran us straight into a trap.
Don't even have
We're
to think
keeping him,
about
that's
it.
the
Don't
enemy.
even have to think about it. But I remember that.
What else we got to ditch?
Well, I think Mantis has something too.
I don't know what you mean.
She wants to keep the baseball
thing.
glove.
I gave you to give away.
Oh, I want to keep it now.
But you said to be a part of the team.
Yes, but it's mine.
Yes, yours to give away.
Politely decline.
Let the bug keep it, Pete.
Yeah,
Jeez.
I kept a picture. She can keep a
obviously
baseball
does not
glove
want
that
me to
weighs
have
like
the
20
baking glove.
times the amount. Probably more. Does anybody know a comparison
Baseball.
of baseball glove to photo
So, we all
ratio,
did the thing and got rid of
weight-wise?
some stuff, and we're such great friends now. But there's something I'd like to point out. The tape deck.
Nah,
I've
fucking
done the
no.
numbers, and that thing has to go.
Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. We're gonna get rid of the tunes.
It's how we listen to tunes. It's how I share myself.
Death
real
before no
weird and all.
music.
But even after Peter's inspiring sacrifice, it's gonna be close. I'm thinking it's better to be safe and lose the extra weight.
I'm thinking I don't give a shit. Dex.
We'll need the beat. You'll see.
We don't get rid of the
Trust
music.
me, have I steered us
We
wrong?
don't
yet?
get rid of the
Don't
music.
Answer that. Just the trust thing. Do that.
Better hope one of those engines is in more pristine condition than it looks, Quill.
I'm gonna kill
Spirit?
everybody.
See? We need hope and music. Who's ready to take off?
Let's put some music on.
Ready to attempt it, I suppose.
Then it's go time. It's now or never.
After Groot and I install the engines you found?
Yep. Right after that. Exactly.
I mean, I bet that tape deck weighs more than everything he's giving away as well, but I'm not giving away a tape deck. Oh, they literally just like welded them on. Okay. Fair enough.
Ready to bust out of this rock lobster?
Engines are online, Pete. Now we just...
Let's just hope that my
pick an
music
exit.
doesn't kill us. Let me pew pew it.
Are you actually implying...
Yes, this worm is a meat tunnel. We could either go out the mouth side or the back side. I am Groot.
Groot
feel like we're
doesn't want to fly
closer
out
to
of a
the-
giant worm's giant posterior.
We're already facing the colon. We should head out the colon.
you
Are we
stop saying that
closer to
word?
the mouth?
Word for what it is. It is a colon.
Well, I vote mouth. We already know the Milano fits that way. I ain't got a ton of interest getting wedged in this thing's
Say it, raccoon. Say colon.
wormhole.
Oh, I can't believe we're wasting time arguing
Oh,
about
we're
this.
literally
This
in the
is
middle.
what's wrong with this team.
Are we going towards
Mouth
the...
has teeth. This creature could bite us in half.
Knowing the weird crap we seen in this place,
If we can get
I'm
out of
sure
a
its
worm's
butt has
arsehole,
teeth, too.
we're gonna go out of a worm's arsehole.
Oh, we're going out the bum.
Colon, Peter. It's pronounced colon.
Initiate engine, sure. Plus we don't have to turn around, so we get more out of the engines.
It's working!
And it's gonna be gross.
The ship's never gonna be clean again.
Just get us out alive, please.
No problem.
Steaming Milano.
We'll be out of here
That's what it's
faster
going to be
than
known
you
as
can
after
say.
this.
Explosive diarrhea.
That's an angry sphincter. That's not your butthole. Here we go. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Okay, that little fucker like a kind of like an enema, I guess, in a way.
This is why we kept this thing.
Okay, we never tell anyone about this.
The universe must hear of this glorious day.
Yeah.
The
Tell your friends.
Guardians' great colon escape.
Oh, how exciting!
Go team.
Yeah, all those jabronis who left the rip the tape deck out. Yeah. Bet you feel silly now.
Okay, I hear you. It looks like one of our shiny new engines got itself turned off during our grandiose exit back there.
Can we fix it?
Sure, you can. Just climb out onto that wing and turn it back on.
Me? No,
Easy.
I didn't volunteer.
Yeah, well, you're the only one who can sort of fly, so it's gotta be you.
Fine. Okay, I'm out here. Are you gonna slow down so I can do this?
And let the giant hungry monster catch up to us again? I don't think so. I'm just gonna tilt the ship so you can walk around the wing. Ready?
I don't think that's a 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, sounds dangerous. Okay.
Incoming! Giant worm monster! Okay, Pete, I gotta right this thing! Hold on to something! Wait, Rocket, don't you dare! How's it going, Quill? You still with us?
Yeah, I'm hanging in there.
Good. Now, when you get to the engine, all you gotta do is hit the big blinky button on the side. Can you handle that?
Yes, Rocket, I think I...
Peter, I thought you
I
fixed
think the music wouldn't be playing. Yeah, I'm guessing
Trust
so.
me,
Yeah, if you didn't
it's
take it out,
still
it'd just be
working.
silence, I guess, at the
Stop
moment.
engine, it's what? How is that?
I'm hoping I'm in the minority. I hope that shows that's one of the decisions. I hope most people took it out, so I can be like, haha. Most people didn't hear the glorious music. Oh, Gamora's gonna fly. This one isn't a slow A tap. Pete just still hanging on the engine.
Compensated gel all runs inside the ship. How did that get damaged?
Yeah, so 1 or 2 of the worms may have made it inside.
Well, somebody deal with them before the ship sheds itself apart.
Get him, Drax.
Come, Tree.
Get him, Groot.
We shall peacefully resolve the situation with our knives.
Yeah. Trees don't have knives. They have thorns. Now we can easily eat cyanids and use it to make a coat. Yes, we are fucked. Drax, what are you thinking, buddy? Drax gonna kill himself? You got this, Drax. By the power of Grayskull.
Rocket, up ahead! Step on it! What do you think I'm doing, Quill? Your little friend did some damage to our guts downstairs. Hang on, I'm coming back in.
Oh shit.
Drax, what are you...
This is my chance, Peter. To protect my new family. Like I never did for Hovat and Kamaria. I told my daughter to run and fight another day. I have run for years. This is the day I fight.
I mean, it's a lot bigger than you, Drax. You've already seen what his belly looks like.
Slice this beast from mouth to colon. You will not have a good day.
Drax, that's not
You better do something quick down there! The ship's breaking up!
But Drax is less weight if he gets up, so...
Peter, give me this.
Fine. I let Nebula kill herself. I let Rocket's thing die.
Tell me what I have to do.
Aww. I mean, I've basically let everybody have their last
inside.
request in this game, basically.
I will take care of the
They're all
rest.
gonna die anyway, let them have their last request. Let them feel good about how they got.
My
Drax will
family
never
be
forget this,
proud,
because he'll be dead soon.
and I will tell them of my best friend, Peter Quill.
Oh.
You're a hero, Drax.
No, I am a guardian.
Oh, that's the name of the show. Roll the credits. And send him out the poop disposer. Poop. I mean, I don't know what he expects to really do. I mean, if he had explosives with him, but the teeny little daggers, they'll just like scratch him real bad the whole way down, but that's it. It's alright, Drax will find a spaceship and live. We haven't seen him die, so he's probably alright. But we got to keep the tape deck, so yeah. Shit, I wonder if we got rid of the tape deck if we wouldn't have lost Drax.
Whoa, you
That would be a
okay?
bit of a twist.
Nice work, buddy.
I am Groot.
He's
Why?
super
What
happy
happened?
about this.
You okay, Pete?
Where's Drax?
Drax got hit by a truck. He had to go live on a farm. We flushed Drax, sorry
Where's
guys.
Drax?
I flushed him.
He died a hero. He's the reason we're still here.
Yeah, Pete just lets
That
everybody die.
He jumped from the airlock to slow the creature down.
No.
Yep.
What? He's gone?
Yeah. Well, he might not be dead, but he's definitely not with us anymore.
We have to go back.
Hold on, we can't go back. We're limping as it is.
Oh, so this is how you keep us together. By launching one of us out the
He
airlock?
asked for it. What am I meant to do? Say no, I'm not going to shoot you out of an airlock.
Gonna be a long ride to nowhere.
That's a funny statement, little man. Funny statement. So, nice happy ending for the episode 4. I assume this is the ending of episode 4. Oh, maybe not quite. Yeah, careful, green dude. Good pocket. They need a mechanic.
Man, she looks pretty rough, huh? Ugh. It smells even worse. Not that I'm surprised. After what we've put her through.
I wasn't sure whether that was you or the ship.
Yeah, you might be right.
Yeah, I think everyone could do with a shower.
300 won't fix.
I don't know, Pete. Now, this might be the type of stink that doesn't wash off.
Just shave your fur off then.
The thing about, you know, with, damn it, Pete. Drax. What I'm saying is, I know it must have been tough, but it was the right call.
Dead weight.
Glad I didn't have to make it. So, yeah.
I think his family would be proud. I hope he gets to see them again.
Yeah, I don't really believe that.
It would be quite something if they have fully
Nice
killed off
thought.
Drax. We have one more episode of this left,
His
so...
family would be proud? Yeah, whatever you have to tell yourself, Peter.
Alright, calm down, Gamora.
Oh, come on!
Look around, Rocket. There are 2 less Guardians here, in case you haven't noticed.
Yeah, but Nebula wasn't a
need to
full-time
back up.
Guardian,
I just
was she?
thought we
She
had a
only
leader
just
who would fight
joined.
for us. All of us. I just want to hear what he was thinking.
I'm with Pete on this one.
He wanted to jump to save us. What's so hard to understand about
It's hard
that?
to understand why you'd allow him to do that.
She isn't buying it? I'm not selling
Please.
it.
The anger is
didn't have a
Yes, I'm
overwhelming.
gonna tell you one more time, lady. Back up.
You
Yeah.
back up.
I ain't going anywhere.
Don't.
The guy did what he had to do.
Stop it, please.
I ain't happy about Drax being gone.
Man, this is
But I
glowing,
am happy
guys.
to still
She's
be
super
breathing.
upset.
You should embrace that a little bit. That we can stand here having this stupid argument at all.
Trusted Peter to keep us all safe. I thought he understood that.
Look what you're doing to Mantis, huh? You think Drax would have wanted that? He gave his life so we could
Yeah,
all
you
still
said,
be
is she
together.
gonna buy that?
Don't waste that.
I never asked him to do that. I don't need anyone dying for me.
Well, too late. 2 people have. Lol.
We talked about this in the caves, and you still don't get it. And now I have another death weighing on me.
I can't take it. There is too much conflict with you.
Uh-oh.
Too much anger, resentment, and sadness.
She's gonna murder them
Your
all.
pain is overwhelming each of you. It's too much for me to be around. If you disagree with each other so much, why don't you all simply walk away?
Just walk
Your
away.
feelings for one
Just
another
walk
are
away.
all at war.
Well, because we're family. And you don't quit on family.
Like you didn't quit on Drax? Like Drax
I didn't
didn't
quit.
quit on all of us?
We employed him in the
You're
best
not
way we
gonna
could.
quit until we're all patronized to death?
Being around you, this is too
Your
painful
love is
for me.
weird.
Thank you for freeing me and teaching me that the loudest shouter is usually the most correct.
Is that true?
But I must go.
I need to get myself one of those boom speakers. Namaste. Yeah, she doesn't really know where she is, does she?
That's gotta be some sort of record. She's basically been chained to us up until now. She gets 2 minutes of free will and we drive her away.
I am Groot.
I am proud of myself in a weird way.
You're right about one thing, Peter. We are family.
Yeah.
But Thanos was my family too. And
Calling us
sometimes
Thanos.
being in a family sucks. So, good luck.
I understand. If you need to go, then go.
Yeah, fuck off.
Thank you, Peter. Be well.
We don't need her.
got
She
one
was
word
bringing
for
the
you,
mood
Pete.
down, man.
Yikes.
We got Groot and Rocket. We still good. We still good.
I am Groot.
What?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Wait, you're leaving?
What did he say?
Groot, come on.
Groot. No, don't do this. I don't care about anyone else, but I want
He's
Groot.
going. He's leaving us.
I am Groot.
Peter, what about me?
But why?
Yeah, explain this totally selfish decision.
Yeah. Guardian of the Galaxy after everyone decides to kill
Says he
themselves.
doesn't want
Pretty
Mantis
much.
to be
Pretty
alone.
much.
I am Groot.
That I have you.
I am Groot.
He knows what it's like to be the last of his kind and alone out
I
there.
mean, he could just split off some of his wood and grow again, right?
I am Groot.
He's got those
knows how
flowers though, so he
important
can
it is
trip
to
whenever
find
he wants.
someone to look out for you.
I am Groot.
He says I need to stay and keep an eye on you.
So at least I get to keep Rocket.
I am
Oh, man. He's saying a bunch of sad stuff.
No.
I love you, buddy.
Aww.
I am Groot.
Fuck you, you little rat. See ya. At least we still have the tape deck. You got it, dude. You got it. We can still boogie at least. Hey, and with all the weight you missed, we can probably get some more cassette tapes and shit, keep playing more records. It's going to be good in the long run. Streamlining the company is going to be best for everyone. Yeah, of course I'm going to take his hand. Screw it. He's a great geezer.
I am Groot.
It's like, I didn't wash my hand.
Come here.
I should have said made like a tree. Get out of here, but I wanted to hug Groot. You don't get option
Yeah,
to take.
just go on, why don't you?
No. Poor little rocket. Such a happy ending. I wonder why there's another episode after this. They seem to be wrapping it all up quite nicely here.
Oh, Groot!
Just gonna get that thing where, you know, when like say like a dog or an
Them
animal
trees
cries
have
and they
such
get
big
like
hearts,
the tear
huh?
marks on their furs.
What a jerk.
Just gonna get that all over him.
I'm really gonna miss that tree.
Yeah, me too.
Cool. Well, at least we're both pilots.
And I guess you'll be leaving too.
About that, I think I'm gonna stick around for a while.
Yeah, we still got a rocket.
I mean, it's clear you couldn't get on without me. Besides, I'm in the market for a new partner.
Thanks, pal.
Hey, this is purely a business
Yeah,
decision.
he's just gone from like
I expect
a lackey to straight up partner. This is a pretty
Well,
good business move from Rocket.
What now?
Oh, there's dance music.
Only
There's
one thing
boogie.
left to do at a moment like this.
Boogie.
Barkeep, 2 of your most lethal concoctions, please.
Hey, we still got Bowie too.
3.
Best idea you've had in a long time.
8 or 9 rounds, then we find Holly.
It's just 8 I think.
Reports are flying in about a
Oh
violent
god, thank god we're not
attack at
there.
the Bari
That'd be
farm.
terrible.
Millions
Oh,
are
look at that.
dead.
Hey, Pete, I found her.
She's probably, yeah, but she won't be there now. It's already exploded. She wouldn't hang around. She'll be off somewhere else now. We can't do it. Oh, the achievement I just got is called Bridge Over Troubled Water. Oh. Okay, so State of the Galaxy. You and 0% of players. Wait. Does this mean I'm the only one in the world who's ever done this? Who's ever got this concoction? So Drax is dead. Halo is force destroyed. Nebula's dead. Groot, Gamora, MIA, and Rocket's still with us. Yeah, apparently I did. Apparently I did fuck up. What is that one thing? That's Bowie. That's Bowie. Yeah. He eats rocks and doesn't want to eat us like the others do. Okay. Anyway, let's see. One last adventure. You and 80% of players went forward with the camping trip. Nice. That's good. A fork in the road. You and 72% of players travelled with Gamora and Groot. Cool. Okay. The Great Escape. You and 66.6% of players exited out of the back of the giant worm. Does it not say about the tape deck? I was hoping the tape deck was it. Most of us went up the butt though. Yeah. You and 75.3% of players helped Drax sacrifice himself. So everyone did that shit. Everyone did that shit. The worm encounter. You and 85.8% of players finished with new friends. 3.6% of players were hostile to the worm, you bastards. And 10.6% of players ditched worm inside the stomach. Bunch of pricks. What horrible people. It did happen today, Eric. It did happen today. Well, I was in the vast majority of everything, so I feel like that is where everybody ends up on that one. I will not buy that. Get the fuck out of here. Stop trying to sell me shit. I don't understand why it only asked us to buy the first game, or not the second movie, not the first one even.